The shadows beneath the surface. Hello, dear viewers and fellow seekers of the strange. Welcome back to our haunted storytelling channel, where we delve into the eerie corners of history, mythology, and urban legends that lurk just beneath the surface of our world. Whether you're here for spine-tingling tales or simply curious about what lies hidden in plain sight, this episode is sure to leave an indelible mark on your imagination. Today, we embark on a chilling journey through time and space as we uncover the top 10 darkest secrets of famous landmarks. These iconic structures, monuments, towers, bridges, castles, are celebrated worldwide for their beauty, grandeur, and historical significance. But behind every gleaming facade lies a story untold, one steeped in darkness, tragedy, and sometimes even malevolence. From whispered curses to blood-soaked histories, these landmarks are not merely tourist attractions, they are vessels of secrets too horrifying to remain buried forever. So dim the lights, grab your favorite blanket, because trust me, you'll need it, and prepare yourself for a descent into the shadowy depths of some of the most famous places on Earth. By the end of this video, you may never look at these landmarks, or any landmark, the same way again. Let's begin. The Tower of London, a fortress of bloodshed. Few places evoke as much dread as the Tower of London. This medieval fortress has stood proudly along the Thames River since 1066, serving as both a royal residence and a prison. Its stone walls have witnessed centuries of intrigue, betrayal, and death. While tourists marvel at its architecture and admire the crown jewels, few realize the tower's grim legacy. One of its darkest chapters revolves around the infamous princes in the tower. Edward V and his younger brother Richard were confined within the tower by their uncle, King Richard III, after their father's death. They vanished without a trace, sparking rumors that they had been murdered to secure Richard's claim to the throne. To this day, no definitive proof exists of their fate, but many believe their spirits haunt the tower. But the young princes aren't the only ghosts said to roam these halls. Anne Boleyn, Henry VIII's second wife, was executed on Tower Green in 1536 after being accused of adultery and treason. Witnesses over the years have reported seeing her ghost wandering the grounds, clutching her severed head under her arm. Other apparitions include Lady Jane Grey, who was beheaded at the age of 16, and Sir Walter Raleigh, imprisoned for nearly 13 years before his execution. The tower also houses the legendary ravens. According to folklore, if the ravens ever leave the premises, England will fall. For centuries, caretakers have ensured the birds remain fed and protected, a tradition born out of fear rather than superstition alone. As visitors walk through the cold, echoing corridors of the Tower of London, they tread upon layers of anguish and despair. It's a place where history whispers warnings from beyond the grave, reminding us that power comes at a cost, and sometimes, that cost is eternal unrest. The Catacombs of Paris, an underground empire of bones beneath the bustling streets of modern-day Paris, lies a macabre network of tunnels stretching over 280 kilometers. The Catacombs of Paris. Originally quarries used to extract limestone for construction, these underground chambers became a solution to a growing crisis in the late 18th century: overflowing cemeteries. As disease spread and bodies piled up, officials decided to relocate millions of skeletons to the catacombs. Today, the ossuary holds the remains of approximately 6 million people, neatly arranged into eerie patterns and designs. Skulls form archways, femurs create walls, and entire sections are dedicated to specific burial grounds. Visitors describe the atmosphere as chillingly serene, with only the sound of dripping water breaking the silence. However, the catacombs harbor more than just bones. Over the years, explorers and urban adventurers have uncovered unsettling discoveries deep within the labyrinth. Some claim to hear faint whispers echoing through the tunnels, while others report feeling watched by unseen eyes. One particularly disturbing tale involves a group of teenagers who ventured off the marked path and stumbled upon a makeshift altar surrounded by candles and human skulls. Authorities dismiss their account as vandalism, but locals insist there's something far darker at play. Legends speak of a mysterious figure known as the Quarryman, said to guide lost souls through the catacombs, but whether he leads them to safety or further into madness remains unclear. Others warn of a cursed section called the Black Vein, where those who enter lose all sense of direction and emerge days later, disoriented and traumatized. For those brave enough to descend into the catacombs, the experience serves as a stark reminder of mortality, and perhaps, the thin veil separating the living from the dead. The Colosseum, arena of death standing tall in the heart of Rome, the Colosseum is a marvel of ancient engineering and design. Built between 70 to 80 AD, it could hold upwards of 50,000 spectators eager to witness gladiatorial combat, animal hunts, and mock sea battles. Yet beneath its majestic exterior lies a gruesome history that continues to haunt the structure today. Gladiators weren't the only victims of the Colosseum's brutal entertainment. Criminals, slaves, and prisoners of war were often forced to fight each other, or wild beasts, to the death. Christians were thrown to lions as punishment for refusing to renounce their faith. Historical accounts describe scenes of unimaginable violence, with rivers of blood flowing across the arena floor. Even after the fall of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum remained a site of suffering. During the Middle Ages, it served as a fortress, quarry, and even a Christian shrine. Rumors persist that secret rituals involving human sacrifice took place within its crumbling walls. Modern visitors frequently report strange occurrences inside the Colosseum. Some claim to hear distant cheers and clashes of swords, while others see shadowy figures moving through empty corridors. A popular legend tells of a phantom lion that prowls the ruins at night, searching for prey. Many believe the spirits of those who died here refuse to rest, bound eternally to the place of their torment. Though the Colosseum now stands as a symbol of Rome's enduring legacy, its dark past ensures that it will always be a place of sorrow and unease. Alcatraz Island, America's haunted fortress perched on a rocky outcrop in San Francisco Bay. Alcatraz Island earned its reputation as one of the most notorious prisons in U.S. history. Between 1934 and 1963, it housed some of the country's most dangerous criminals, including Al Capone, George, Machine Gun, Kelly, and Robert Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz. Despite its remote location and strict security measures, Alcatraz was plagued by escapes, riots, and suicides throughout its operation. Stories of paranormal activity abound among former guards and inmates alike. Cell Block D, known as the Hole, was reserved for solitary confinement and punishment. Inmates claimed to hear disembodied voices and feel icy hands gripping their shoulders during their isolation. One prisoner allegedly saw a glowing red-eyed demon staring at him from the darkness, driving him to madness. Perhaps the most chilling tale involves the warden's house. After closing hours, staff members have reported hearing footsteps, doors slamming, and children laughing, despite the fact that no children lived on the island during its time as a penitentiary. Some speculate that residual energy from Native American tribes, who once occupied the land, lingers in the area, adding another layer of mystery to Alcatraz's haunted reputation. Today, Alcatraz operates as a museum and tourist attraction, drawing thousands of visitors annually. Yet for those willing to listen closely, the echoes of despair still resonate through its steel bars and concrete walls. Château de Brissac, France's tallest ghost castle perched above the rolling hills of the Loire Valley, Château de Brissac stands as a towering sentinel of history and legend. Often referred to as the Giant of the Loire Valley, it is the tallest chateau in France, rising an impressive 7 stories with over 204 rooms sprawling across its vast interior. Originally built in the 11th century as a fortress against invading forces, the castle has endured centuries of war, fire, and transformation, evolving from a medieval stronghold into a stunning Renaissance masterpiece. Its stone walls have borne witness to the shifting tides of power, from feudal lords to noble families, from royal alliances to tragic betrayals. Yet, beyond its architectural grandeur and historical significance, Château de Brissac is best known for its haunting reputation. The most chilling tale associated with the castle dates back to the 15th century when Jacques de Brise, Lord of Brissac, discovered his wife, Charlotte, engaged in an affair with a local nobleman. Consumed by rage, Jacques murdered both lovers and left their bodies unburied as a grim warning to others. Their restless spirits, it is said, still linger within the castle walls, forever bound to the place of their tragic demise. In particular, the ghostly figure of Charlotte, known as La Dame Verte, has become the central focus of supernatural legends surrounding the estate. The tragedy of La Dame Verte as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the cobbled grounds of Chateau de Brissac. The air grew thick with tension. On that fateful evening, Jacques de Brise returned unexpectedly from a hunting trip, only to find whispers of betrayal swirling through the castle corridors. His heart raced with suspicion, and soon enough, he stumbled upon the scene that would change his life forever. Hidden behind a tapestry, he witnessed his beloved wife, Charlotte, in a passionate embrace with a local nobleman, her laughter echoing like a dagger to his soul. In a fit of rage, Jacques stormed into the room, sword drawn and eyes ablaze. The nobleman barely had time to react before Jacques struck him down, blood splattering across the stones like a macabre painting. Turning toward Charlotte, he saw not the woman he loved, but a specter of deceit. With a cry that echoed through the halls, he lunged at her, silencing her pleas with a final, devastating blow. When dawn broke, the castle was shrouded in silence, the aftermath of violence hanging heavy in the air. Jacques, now a man consumed by guilt and fury, made a chilling decision. He did not bury the bodies. Instead, he left them as a grim reminder of what happens to those who dare to betray love's sanctity. This act of vengeance reverberated throughout the castle, sealing the fate of Charlotte's spirit and igniting the legend of La Dame Verte, whose sorrowful cries would haunt the very stones where she once lived. The haunting of La Dame Verte. Since that harrowing night, the ethereal presence of La Dame Verte has woven itself into the fabric of Chateau de Brissac, leaving an indelible mark on all who dwell within or visit its storied halls. Witnesses recount eerie encounters that send shivers down their spines, mournful cries echoing through the corridors, often punctuated by the distinct sound of footsteps pacing just out of sight. Many guests report seeing a translucent figure gliding silently through the dimly lit hallways, her green gown shimmering like mist caught in moonlight. Some have even claimed to feel an icy chill in the air, a sudden drop in temperature that seems to accompany her spectral presence, leaving them breathless and unnerved. Local lore tells of brave souls who dared to explore the tower where Charlotte met her untimely end, only to be confronted by flickering lights that dance ominously along the stone walls. These unsettling phenomena are not mere coincidences. They serve as tangible manifestations of La Dame Verte's lingering anguish, a ghostly echo of her tragic past that continues to resonate through the ages. Over the years, the frequency of these disturbances has increased, suggesting that the spirit of Charlotte grows stronger, perhaps fueled by the very legends that surround her. Each account adds layers to the mythos of the Green Lady, transforming her from a mere ghost story into a powerful symbol of lost love and eternal sorrow. As visitors gather around crackling fires, sharing tales of their experiences, the haunting legacy of La Dame Verte becomes more vivid, ensuring that her story will endure for generations to come. A legacy of fear and fascination despite, or perhaps because of, its ominous reputation, Chateau de Brissac has become a beacon for thrill-seekers, paranormal investigators, and historians alike. Tourists flock to the towering estate, eager to glimpse the spectral form of La Dame Verte or experience the inexplicable chills that sweep through its ancient halls. Guided tours weave through the castle's labyrinthine corridors, recounting the tragic tale of Charlotte and the eerie occurrences that continue to this day. For many, the allure lies not only in the promise of ghosts but also in the opportunity to step back in time, walking the same stone floors and gazing upon the opulent ceilings that have borne witness to centuries of history. Paranormal investigators, armed with electromagnetic field detectors and infrared cameras, have scoured the chateau in search of concrete evidence of its spectral inhabitant. Some claim to have captured anomalies, shadowy figures materializing in empty doorways, whispers caught on audio recordings, and sudden temperature fluctuations in otherwise warm rooms. Yet, despite countless studies and investigations, no definitive proof has emerged, leaving skeptics to dismiss the hauntings as mere legend while believers insist that something otherworldly lingers within the castle's walls. The fascination with Chateau de Brissac extends beyond scientific inquiry. Historians delve into its past, piecing together the events that led to the creation of one of Europe's most enduring ghost stories. Writers and filmmakers draw inspiration from its haunted halls, crafting novels and films that immortalize the tragedy of La Dame Verte. Whether real or imagined, the legend of the Green Lady ensures that Chateau de Brissac remains a place of mystery, drawing visitors into its shadowy embrace time and again. Attempts to banish the spectral presence throughout the centuries. Numerous attempts have been made to rid Chateau de Brissac of its haunted legacy. Priests, mystics, and spiritualists have conducted exorcisms within its cold stone chambers, reciting prayers and burning incense in hopes of laying Charlotte's restless spirit to rest. In the 17th century, a Jesuit priest reportedly spent 3 nights in the tower where La Dame Verte is most frequently seen, claiming that he heard whispered confessions in a language long forgotten. Despite his efforts, the hauntings persisted. In the early 1900s, a renowned French medium held séances in the Great Hall, calling upon Charlotte to reveal why she remained tethered to the living world. According to witnesses, the candles flared violently before extinguishing all at once, plunging the room into darkness. A voice, described as soft yet filled with sorrow, murmured a single phrase: "Je ne peux partir. I cannot leave." From that night forward, reports of strange occurrences intensified, leading some to believe that the ritual had only strengthened her ties to the castle. Modern investigators have taken a different approach, employing thermal imaging and EMF detectors to track any anomalies. Some teams have recorded inexplicable spikes in energy levels near the tower, while others have captured faint, whisper-like voices on audio equipment. However, no technology has managed to dispel the presence of La Dame Verte. If anything, each attempt to banish her seems to fuel her legend, making her more visible and active than ever before. The enduring mystery of La Dame Verte, despite centuries of speculation, investigation, and attempts at exorcism, the true nature of La Dame Verte's presence remains an enigma. Is she merely a figment of collective imagination, a tragic tale passed down through generations? Or is there something more, something unseen yet undeniably felt, lingering within the towering walls of Chateau de Brissac? Those who have encountered the phantom speak of an overwhelming sense of sorrow, as if Charlotte's grief has seeped into the very stones of the castle, refusing to fade with time. Some researchers suggest that the intense emotions tied to her violent death may have imprinted themselves on the environment, creating a residual haunting that replays echoes of her suffering endlessly. Others believe that her spirit remains trapped, unable to move on until justice or forgiveness is granted. One particularly compelling theory suggests a connection between the castle's frequent renovations and the strengthening of La Dame Verte's presence. As the chateau has undergone restoration, workers have uncovered hidden chambers and sealed off staircases, places where the past may have been disturbed, reawakening the energies contained within. Could these interventions have inadvertently fed the legend, allowing the Green Lady's influence to grow stronger? Whether supernatural phenomenon, psychological imprint, or historical memory made manifest, one thing remains certain: La Dame Verte is not ready to be forgotten. An invitation to the brave for the truly curious, Chateau de Brissac offers a rare opportunity, an immersive journey into a world where history and legend intertwine. Visitors can explore its towering halls, admire the intricate frescoes adorning its ceilings, and walk the very corridors where La Dame Verte is said to wander. By day, the chateau stands as a testament to France's rich heritage, its architecture and artistry offering a glimpse into the lives of those who once called it home. By night, however, the atmosphere shifts, and the castle reveals another side, one steeped in whispers of the past and the lingering presence of its most famous ghost. Those seeking a bolder adventure may opt for an overnight stay, whether in one of its luxurious suites or during a special paranormal-themed event. Imagine drifting off to sleep beneath gilded mirrors, only to be awakened by the distant sound of footsteps or a fleeting glimpse of emerald fabric vanishing around a corner. While some may dismiss such experiences as tricks of the mind, others believe they are witnessing something far older, Charlotte's eternal lament, replayed for eternity. Regardless of one's beliefs, few who spend the night at Chateau de Brissac leave without a newfound respect for its haunted legacy. Whether drawn by history, curiosity, or the thrill of the unknown, visitors to Chateau de Brissac find themselves stepping into a centuries-old mystery. It is a place where past and present merge, where the line between reality and legend blurs, and where the Green Lady waits, forever searching for peace. The legend lives on even after hundreds of years. The legend of La Dame Verte refuses to fade, growing stronger with each new generation that hears her tale. Every visitor to Chateau de Brissac carries away a piece of its haunted history, whether through first-hand encounters or simply by standing in the very places where tragedy unfolded. The castle, with its towering silhouette and shadowed corridors, remains a testament to the enduring power of folklore and the human fascination with the unknown. Legends like Charlotte's do not survive merely because they are frightening, they persist because they speak to something deeper, something universal. They remind us of the fragility of love, the weight of betrayal, and the idea that some emotions, whether in life or death, refuse to be silenced. Chateau de Brissac is more than just a beautiful relic of the past. It is a vessel for storytelling, a place where history and myth entwine so seamlessly that distinguishing one from the other becomes impossible. Perhaps that is why people continue to return, not just to seek ghosts, but to connect with something greater than themselves. Whether La Dame Verte is real or merely a product of collective belief, her presence lingers, ensuring that her story, and the castle that shelters it, will never be forgotten. Eastern State Penitentiary, a blueprint for horror once considered the world's most expensive and innovative prison, Eastern State Penitentiary opened its doors in Philadelphia in 1829. Designed to rehabilitate inmates through solitary confinement and reflection, it quickly became a model for correctional facilities worldwide. However, the harsh conditions and psychological toll led to widespread abuse, riots, and escapes. Among its infamous residents was Al Capone, whose cell was reportedly haunted by the ghost of James Clark, a victim of the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Guards described hearing screams and gunshots emanating from Capone's quarters long after he'd been transferred. Eastern State shut down in 1971, leaving behind a crumbling shell filled with memories of pain and suffering. Since then, countless reports of paranormal activity have surfaced. Shadow figures dart across hallways, disembodied voices whisper in empty cells, and cold spots linger inexplicably in certain areas. One particularly harrowing account involves a maintenance worker who encountered a man in old-fashioned prison garb standing in a corner. When approached, the figure vanished into thin air. Today, Eastern State hosts annual Halloween events and ghost tours, attracting thrill-seekers eager to confront its sinister past. But beware, this isn't just a haunted house. It's a place where real horrors unfolded, leaving scars that refuse to heal. Angkor Wat, Cambodia's cursed temple Angkor Wat, the largest religious monument in the world, stands as a testament to the Khmer Empire's architectural prowess. Built in the early 12th century, it originally served as a Hindu temple before transitioning to Buddhism. While its intricate carvings and towering spires inspire awe, darker legends surround the sacred site. Locals believe that Angkor Wat is protected by powerful spirits, and disturbing its sanctity invites dire consequences. Archaeologists working on restoration projects have reported mysterious accidents and illnesses, which they attribute to curses placed on those who disrespect the temple. One team claimed to hear chanting voices in ancient languages, though no one was present. Tourists have also experienced strange phenomena. Some recount feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness or dread while exploring the ruins, while others swear they've seen shadowy monks walking through empty courtyards. At night, the jungle surrounding Angkor Wat becomes eerily silent, as if nature itself respects the power of the ancient stones. While Angkor Wat remains a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a major tourist destination, its mystical aura reminds visitors that not all secrets are meant to be uncovered. Poveglia Island, Italy's plague pit nestled in the Venetian lagoon. Poveglia Island is often cited as one of the most haunted places on Earth. In the 14th century, it served as a quarantine station for plague victims, earning it the nickname Plague Island. Thousands of infected individuals were sent there to die, their bodies burned in massive pyres. Centuries later, under Mussolini's regime, the island became home to a psychiatric hospital rumored to conduct horrific experiments on patients. Paranormal investigators describe Poveglia as a hotbed of supernatural activity. Visitors report hearing anguished screams carried by the wind, while others claim to see shadowy figures wandering the abandoned buildings. One caretaker allegedly went mad after repeatedly encountering a ghostly doctor wielding surgical tools. Access to Poveglia is restricted due to its hazardous condition, but urban explorers continue to sneak onto the island despite warnings of danger. Those who return speak of an oppressive atmosphere, as if the very air is heavy with sorrow. Poveglia stands as a grim reminder of humanity's capacity for cruelty, and the lingering pain of those who suffered there. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland's haunted fortress. Edinburgh Castle looms high atop Castle Rock, offering breathtaking views of the Scottish capital. But its picturesque setting belies a turbulent history of sieges, executions, and torture. For centuries, the castle served as a military stronghold and royal residence, witnessing countless tragedies. Among its most famous hauntings is the Laird's Hall, where soldiers stationed during World War II reported seeing spectral figures marching through the courtyard. Another hotspot is the dungeon, where prisoners of war endured unimaginable hardships. Guards claim to hear moans and rattling chains emanating from the cells, though no one has occupied them for centuries. One particularly unsettling tale involves a piper boy tasked with exploring secret tunnels beneath the castle. As he played his bagpipes to signal his location, the music abruptly stopped. Search parties failed to locate him, and his body was never found. Legend says his ghostly tune can still be heard echoing through the passages. Edinburgh Castle remains one of Scotland's top tourist destinations, but its haunted reputation ensures that visitors tread lightly, aware of the restless spirits that call it home. The Hollywood sign, dreams turned to nightmares. The iconic Hollywood sign symbolizes glamour, ambition, and the pursuit of fame. Yet behind its glittering facade lies a darker narrative of broken dreams and tragic endings. Originally erected in 1923 as an advertisement for a real estate development, the sign has become synonymous with Los Angeles's entertainment industry. Several suicides have occurred near the sign, lending it a morbid allure. In 1932, actress Peg Entwistle famously leapt to her death from the H letter, unable to cope with rejection and failure. Her ghost is said to haunt the area, with hikers reporting glimpses of a woman in 1930s attire wandering aimlessly. Others claim to feel a palpable sense of desperation as they approach the sign, as if the weight of unfulfilled aspirations presses down on them. Urban legends suggest that anyone who vandalizes the sign invites misfortune, citing bizarre accidents and personal tragedies that befell offenders. Though the Hollywood sign continues to shine brightly against the California sky, its shadowy past serves as a sobering reminder that not all dreams come true, and some exact a terrible price. Beyond the veil, and there you have it. Our exploration of the top 10 darkest secrets of famous landmarks draws to a close. From the blood-soaked stones of the Tower of London to the bone-filled catacombs of Paris, these iconic sites remind us that history is rarely as pristine as it appears. Beneath their polished surfaces lie stories of tragedy, betrayal, and supernatural phenomena that continue to captivate and terrify us. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more haunting tales and chilling discoveries. Share this episode with friends who love a good scare, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. Which landmark gave you goosebumps? Are there any others you'd like us to investigate? Until next time, stay curious, but beware the shadows. You never know what might be lurking just out of sight. Good night, and sweet dreams, if you can manage them.